The 49ers spoiled an 11-catch, 175-yard day and 3 touchdowns for Jennings. Shame on them for spoiling that day for him. But what they're really missing is the opportunity to stack some early season wins, because wait until you see how brutal this schedule gets come week 6. You know, the time to stack wins was now. It might not be time later. Now, the Niners are a late closing team. They are better in November than they are in September, but this was not good. You know, Kyle really did a good job getting some wide open plays set up for Brock Purdy to hit, and he hit them. Jennings, that catch over Quentin Lake coming off the top of a Rams helmet for a 32-yard gain, it was incredible. It totally sucks for Jennings' game doesn't go into the win column. He deserved to get it into the win column. Brock Purdy didn't lose this game, and honestly, as much as it's just really easy to say, oh, Kyle, he abandoned the run when he probably should have run it more. I mean, Brock Purdy did way too much running the ball in that second half. I agree. But I would also say that Jordan Mason was not having like the day of days. Look at it this way. There will be games where you can absolutely say that's 100% on Kyle or that's on your quarterback. I thought that the quarterback and the coach were actually pulling on the rope to win a game today. Unfortunately, the defensive coordinator, the defensive Svengali that Brandon Staley's supposed to be, and another piss-poor special teams performance were pulling on the rope in the wrong direction. And the offense today put up 24 points, which given the circumstances, I thought was going to be enough to win. It was don't give up more than 17. That was this week's mandate, and they gave up 27. Why not run Mason more? This is a question that will be asked all week. I might suggest the answer was it's because he was not having a great day. He was having a good day. And it felt like the more he ran, the less effective he became. It was like, I don't know, the 49ers offensive line might have started tipping its pitches because the Rams, with their unballyhooed defensive line, were just sitting on the line of scrimmage. The problem today was a defense that didn't bow up when it needed to, couldn't get off the field again on third down when it needed to, and a special teams missed field goal that would have made it a 2-possession game, but it was a 55-yarder. That's a monster. The end of the game was so bad. We forget how good it started. This was one of the best starts to any game Kyle has coached in his career. By the end of the first quarter, which the 49ers absolutely owned, the 49ers had 11 first downs to the Rams 1 first down. They held the ball for nearly 12 of the opening 15 minutes. They had 123 total yards and were 2 of 2 on third down. They were capitalizing on momentum swinging plays right up until that Rams fake punt. You know, you had a Purdy fumble when Colton McKivitz gave up Byron Young curling sack around his right side. Jennings did everything he could today to put the 49ers into the win column. I think this is a very top-heavy roster, which means your depth isn't going to be what it needs to be, and that played into some of today's loss. But if you thought the 49ers were having depth problems, what the hell were the Rams having? You know, the Rams had some serious depth problems here today, and it was embarrassing that the 49ers lost this game. The 49ers' defensive identity either has to come from their defensive line or in their secondary, and either way, it hasn't really come from either yet. Maybe this is why Fred Warner is continuing to stand out like a sore thumb with good game after good game, because he's out there cleaning up for everybody else's mess. When does it go from Ayuk overplayed to Jennings underplayed? Because to me, Jennings had a better day as a wide receiver in Kyle's offense this afternoon than I can remember Brandon Ayuk having, than Deebo Samuel having for a couple of years. Now, is that recency bias playing a little bit into it? Yeah, I'm sure it is. But man, Jennings was the man today, and he needs to hit the field more. And Ronnie Bell needs to hit the field never again. And if I'm the 49ers, I'm not letting Brian Schneider hit the tarmac. I'm leaving him at SoFi Stadium in the locker room just saying, we're relieving you of your duties as special teams coordinator. Here's the thing. Even if it ain't your fault, what'd Chris Carter say? Everybody needs a fall guy. You're the fall guy. We're not getting rid of Kyle. We're not going to get rid of Brandon Staley today. Nick Sorensen's not going to be fired 3 games into his career. This is an every week thing with you, Brian. The only positive thing about all this is that Brock has proven himself to the haters in the media. Now, look, there's a cottage industry hating on the guy, and they'll continue to hate no matter what. If all you want to do is see the bad quarterback that Brock Purdy is in your own mind, you got to squint really hard to see that guy, because anyone else looking, I think, sees a pretty damn good quarterback. Like, it's easier to see what he is than it is to imagine what he isn't, isn't it? The truth is, the 49ers are going to be a better team in a couple of weeks than they are right now, but they're going to be facing stiffer competition in a couple of weeks. Being 1-2 is not the end of the world, but falling to 1-3 with a home loss to the New England Patriots, and that is next on the schedule, now that is something that cannot happen. You want to talk about some momentum swinging plays in this game? Well, first of all, the first two possessions I thought were showing us about the momentum that the 49ers are going to be able to hold on to all day. Early in this game, they were winning at the line of scrimmage. Early in this game, they were getting off the field. Early in this game, the Rams couldn't do anything with the ball. After two possessions, the Rams had -9 passing yards and 31 total yards. The Rams didn't run their 11th offensive play of the day until there was 8:55 remaining in the second quarter. And then there was a fake punt that basically took a game that the Rams weren't even in. And it put them right back into the game. And 14-0 didn't become 17-0, didn't become 21-0. So it remained a 2-possession game. Now it's a 1-possession game. Now you got the Rams playing for a wraparound score. You know, the big question coming in was who was going to step into the Debo vacancy. Well, the man who did that was Jennings. 11 catches, 175 yards, 3 touchdowns. The 49ers spoiled an 11-catch, 175-yard day and 3 touchdowns for Jennings. Shame on them for spoiling that day for him. Let's go ahead and look at some of these stats again. 19 carries and 77 yards for Jordan Mason, but 34 carries, 137 yards. It feels like you need more yardage than that on 34 carries if you're the Niners. It's hard to say that they didn't run the ball enough, but when you see the 10 of them go to Brock Purdy, look at Jennings, 11 catches, 175 yards. But again, Tutu Atwell, how are you going to let Tutu Atwell get off on you like that? That's not good. Niners lost a fumble. That wasn't good. Charvarius Ward finished with 9 tackles. Talanoa Hufanga finished with 7 tackles. How come we're not seeing more tackles from defensive linemen and linebackers here? How come you got another? When your leading tacklers are all in your secondary, that by definition is showing that your defensive line and your linebackers are not doing enough. Again, Fred Warner didn't have an all-world game today. I guess Fred Warner is going to need an all-world game every single week. Not a single cowing. Not a single target. 3 targets, 1 catch, 12 yards. Cut this guy right there. Well, 25 first downs again. The 49ers, they're leading the NFL in first down was recorded. How did the freaking Rams, who didn't see more than 1 first down the entire first quarter, finish with 19? How do you not get off the field there? 2 for 2 on 4th down. They only ran 55 plays. You know, you got Purdy basically going for 10 yards per pass. Now, that's getting the job done. Again, let me tell you, you want to find out that you're listening to or subscribing to the wrong idiot. Anyone who's trying to put today's game on Purdy is just an idiot. 7 penalties for 111 yards. Clean your shit up, Kyle. You want to criticize the head coach right there? Okay, fine. 7 penalties, 111 yards. That's sloppy, Kyle. But he won the time of possession. He won the first downs. He won third down efficiency. He won total yards. He won number of plays run. He won on the ground. 49ers got out executed. 49ers got outplayed. 49ers got out coached at times. I guess that's what you get when you get a no-joke quarterback and a head coach who knows how to use them. Unfortunately, that formula didn't pull the 49ers into the win column because their special teams pulled them out of it, and their inability to make the defensive play when it was there to be made pulls them out of the win column and puts them in the loss column. And that is what, a 55, 65-minute flight home? It's going to feel like forever. 49ers blew it today. Thanks for watching. Tune into the Damon Bruce Show live on YouTube every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.